Okay, I think we are live, everybody. We are live. Welcome back to another episode of Bitcoin chart analysis, the pullback. So we are experiencing a pullback here. That's what I'm going to title the thumbnail. You see the thumbnail, you see today's date. Today's Wednesday, May 10th is when I'm doing my chart analysis. I know I'm a little late. I'm a little late into making the chart analysis, but don't worry. I'll try to do my best here in getting you the information that you're looking for, which is probably, you probably want to know what's going on because you're freaking out. So let's see here. What am I doing? Hold on here. All right. All right. So let me put up my QR code. That is my QR code if you're interested in donating. Appreciate any and all donations as possible, especially for those who are freaking out and don't want to get involved in Bitcoin whatsoever. Now's your chance to donate to me, and then you can watch the money go up and down in value in this public address. All right, so the pullback. Oh, sorry, I didn't make that. There it is. So there's my Bitcoin address. Feel free to donate to me. And if you like the information that I provide, the insight, and some wisdom of my many years of watching the Bitcoin crypto markets and how I've witnessed all the things that have happened. Hopefully it helps you if you're a newbie, especially for the newbies. The newbies, you're going to really like this because it's going to help you a lot. So that's my Bitcoin address right there if you feel like giving a donation. It's also in the description as well. Okay, let's transition out of that. And let's talk about the pullback. All right, so I think we are in a process of a pullback. In other words, the price is going to go down in price. Not because anything has happened or anything is wrong. It's just that the buyers are exhausted and there's not as many participants in the market to push it any higher. What's really going on is that now the prices are higher, more people are willing, okay, more miners as in Bitcoin miners, the more miners and more people are willing to sell their Bitcoin to the market. And when I say the market, I'm mainly talking about the peer-to-peer market. Although interestingly enough, there has been a shutdown. I think local Bitcoins is no longer operating. I don't know for sure, but I think local Bitcoins is no longer operating. But don't worry, there are other platforms that will fill its shoes. And the peer-to-peer market is probably very robust without local Bitcoins. Localbitcoins.com, that is. I think they're not operating anymore. So anyways, let's get into the chart. This is the chart you've been looking at. I'm on a weekly. Okay, so I'm on a weekly here. Let's just get rid of everything so we could just restart over. Sometimes it really helps to just restart and look at all the things that you've done. So I will restart trend line. This is the bear market right there. This time frame right here is when it's broken out of this trend. It's definitely broken out of this trend line. This is a Sam Bankman-Fried FTX. Bad news. Everybody's selling on this news right here. That's what this represents. It also represents a time when it breaks out of this trend line. usually breaks out, comes down only to kind of barely meet the top of the trend line again on the top side instead of the bottom side right over here. And then you see this long 10 weeks. What is that? About 4 months, 4 to 5 months of sideways movement. And it will continue to go sideways. Continue to go sideways. Sorry about that. Heard a little background noise. I had to go mute on. And then you see that it's crossed over. And we'll try to zoom in here. Move the lines a little bit. It's crossed. The two averages have now crossed over, and you've gotten a nice push up, breaking through the average lines. Breaking above this. Breaking above this. So you're getting a push of a higher high, higher lows from this low right here. So you got price that's breaking these two areas of higher lows, now making a higher high and a higher low, and of course this right here, a higher high. The question is, are we going to make another lower low? So let's back out, let's zoom out, and let's add our fib lines, Fibonacci fan lines, and we'll see what's going to happen from here. So you see this Fibonacci fan line right here, this Fibonacci fan line right here in this area. You're starting to see that the price action is following that fan line. The question is, will it bounce off in a support? So if you look at the support, the lines that I drew on, you'll see a support here. Support down here in this level right here. Let me see what price is that. That's about the 25,000 price. You'll see that the longer term average, this yellow line, the long term average, the 30 period average versus the 10 period average, I'm on a weekly, that is coming very close to this line here, which is the most higher high, this area right here where it made a break out here, the highest, the most recent high, the most recent previous high before it went down and made another higher high. So that is the support area. How long will it take before it goes down and then starts breaking out of this fan line, this Fibonacci fan line, possibly hitting up against this resistance, which is the most recent higher high right here? I don't know. But I do have a certain amount of time frame before it goes ballistic here. This time frame is basically until now, all the way until possibly December, into January, possibly. So let me see, we're almost 8 months. So there's about an 8-month time period here. Let me see, is that right? What is today? May, June, July. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 8-month time period here of a lot of movement in price. A lot of things can happen. Is it going to go back down? Is it going to go back up? So Bitcoin and cryptocurrency markets, they're very cyclical. They're based on time, mainly due to the halving. And so if you understand that and you're a long-term player, that's the key thing. You have to be a long-term player. If you're trying to play the long game, the easiest and simplest way to make the most amount of gains on this and to profit the most is to buy and hold, to hodl. So if the price does go down, which I think it will go down, you can see the 10 period average is starting to curl over, and I think it's going to start curling down just along this line right here. May even cross over into this line, depends how fast the price moves. That's what's the difference it's going to make. It's going to make that difference. Now, in the long term, in the longer term, the 8-month period, this trapezoid that you see here, this square trapezoid looking area, this time frame here to here, actually time frame from here to here, it's about 8 months. Between that time frame, I don't think the price is going to all of a sudden explode to infinity. I think there will be a lot of ups and downs, but I do think a target date of around November is still possible, which is about maybe 6 more months. So there's a lot of time here. If you're looking to play the long game and you want to maximize, okay, you want to start stacking your coins, because when it goes up, when it starts going hyperbolic, when it starts doing this, let me delete all the lines again so you don't get confused. So when it starts doing this right here, when it starts going hyperbolic, you don't have to sweat. You don't have to worry about, should I buy more? Should I buy more? Because you've already got it at a lower price. You already stacked your coins. Okay, the only thing you have to worry about is how much do you want to sell? And again, if you're playing the long game, which I recommend everyone play the long game, I guess depending on your horizon, but the long game for me right now is the next 2 years. How long will this bull market last for the next 2 years? That's the question, because once it goes hyperbolic, it goes very fast. This started probably around May. So this started around May, started going. November started really taking off. Look at that, from November to December, started taking off, pushed all the way into January, into April. Okay. And by the time it went around 1 year, it started to dive, and this is where everybody thought the market's going to crash. And that's what it usually does. It usually happens, but the last happening here in this cycle, you'll see that it didn't. It continued and made another all-time high all the way until another November. So 2 years of a bull market here before it slowly started coming back down again. And you'll see that it did take a long time. And then last November, not so great. So now we have another cycle of here. Okay, another cycle here. We're into May. If you look at May around here, that's what it looks like. That's what this is gonna, this right here, what you're looking at right now, in the next 4 years after I record this, is gonna look just like this. It's a repeating cycle. If you understand that time frame, if you understand the cycle, it's really not difficult to trade this. The problem is that you have a lot of new players, and a lot of idiots that come into the market, and probably a lot of scammers out there who will perpetuate this idea that you could trade your way into becoming a billionaire or whatever, win Lambo to the moon. They believe that you can trade to becoming a millionaire. Like you can buy and sell, buy and sell. Like somehow they can predict when the dips are going to happen, and then so everyone sells at the top and buys at the bottom. But that never happens. That never happens. That's very rare for someone to do that. Most likely, that actually is the exception to the rule. The rule is that you sell at the bottom and you buy at the top. That is the rule of thumb in reality. People usually end up doing that. People usually end up buying here and then start selling here. And then as soon as the price goes up, they start buying again up here. And then they sell here, and then they buy here, and they sell here, and they keep on selling, selling, selling. They never really start buying. And the reasons why the price is moving up so easily, even with look at the volume. If you look at the volume of Bitcoins, it's very low. The reason why that is there are very few market participants during this time. All right, so it's not that hard to move the price up. It's harder to move the price up when there are more people. So there is a ebb and flow to how the price works. So right now there are not enough buyers because there's a limited pool of buyers. And so they are selling. These same buyers are now selling. And that's why you see a consolidation. Does it mean it's going to go down? I don't think it will. I still think there are more buyers and more people who are holding because they know what's coming up. The smart people know what's coming up. They know that here's we're in this time period right now, right here, from our last time, from the last happening. This is the time period that we are in right now. This time period right here. We're in this time period, and this is what's coming up. This big push right here, from 1,000 to 40,000. All right, and it's not that hard, or I wouldn't say it's not that hard, but it's very plausible that you could plop down a very large sum. And when I say very large sum, I mean 1 to 2 to 10 Bitcoins worth. All right, you can definitely buy 10 Bitcoin and definitely make this gain very, very easily. And once you come to this frenzy market, it's possible to take those 10 Bitcoins and dump it onto the market because there will be many people who are buying. See, that's why you see this price like go up and down, up and down. Just stay here for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. For 10 weeks. This price has stayed up here for about 10 weeks. So if you look at that, 10 weeks is about 3-4 months. So 3 to 4 months, this price can stay at the top before it starts crashing down. Let's see, this one was not as long. This was a little surprising, very unusual to have a second all-time high within this time period, within this halvening period. But even then, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you had about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks. So you had 1 month of prices going at around 60 to 50,000 before it started going down. So, it's very possible that you could profit off of this. You're not going to affect the market. But as long as you understand the ebb and flows of how things work, this time period right here is essentially this time period right here. And we're not too far away from a few more months, 8 months window for the next bull market. And when it happens, you won't know it happens until after it happens. So anyways, are we experiencing a pullback? Yes, we are going to experience a pullback, but the pullback will probably be around the 25,000. This area right here, or I should say this right here, which is also the same area where you're getting support on the 30 period average. So that's probably the support area, and I'm anticipating that the price will follow this Fibonacci fan line until it hits a point where it could now break out of that. And then by this point here, you are looking at an 8-month window here. I think you're looking at an 8-month, 1, 2, 3, yeah, another 8-month window from here till now to here till the end of the year. We'll get probably a very nice bull run. A bull market is starting. The bull market will be like, you'll really see it. It'll be very obvious. But by then, if you haven't already bought in, if you haven't already stacked your coins, I wouldn't say it's too late, but you're going to miss out on a lot of gains. If you're not stacking now, you're missing out. The best opportunity, in my opinion. So anyways, I'm going to wrap it up here. Let's just clear all this. There you go. So the pullback is coming. All right, the pullback is coming. It's going to pull back. But think of it like somebody doing a 1-2 punch before the knockout, right? When you make that final blow to knock somebody out, you're going to pull back, right? You're going to pull back your punch. You're going to wind back to give it the knockout punch. Think of it that way. So is the price going to go down? Yeah, I think the price is going to go down. Hopefully that'll make the price a little bit more attractive. Hopefully you'll take advantage of it. Start stacking your coins. And remember, hodling long term is probably the best. You make the most amount. You'll have the maximum amount of gains. That's just my opinion. And when that punch comes, when that knockout punch comes, it is literally going to go through the roof. You're going to experience, I think you're going to experience the bull market in its fullest, and everyone will go crazy to the moon. I'm already seeing ransomware. Usually when the ransomware starts coming, that's when you also see the price start going back down. A lot of things will start happening. I would start looking for crypto YouTubers started coming out of the woodworks, which I'm starting to see. When the bull market happens, just the exuberance will go crazy. Here's my Bitcoin address. Feel free to donate. So like I said, when the bull market happens, everyone's going to be excited. It's going to be to the moon. Everyone's going to buy a Lambo. Everyone's getting rich. They're having a party. Many crypto YouTubers were coming out of the woodworks. That's when the crypto sponsorships will start happening. That's also when the scams will start happening as well. A lot of scamming will going on. A lot of people will start losing their coins. That's also when all the hacks, when you hear about the hacking, maybe an exchange will get hacked. Maybe somebody will get socially engineered hacked and lose all their coins. They'll be sending the coins to someone thinking they're going to get paid. A lot of hacks are going to start happening. The best thing to do is never give up your private keys, cold storage, paper wallets, offline wallets. Never tell anybody how much crypto you have. What else? No, I'm sure something will come up by then. But eventually, the euphoria, the party will end eventually because the price will come back down. Eventually, there will be more supply than there is demand. Okay, because when the buyers get exhausted and the price can no longer go up any higher than what the market can bear, that's when you will go back into a bear market, everybody. All right, I'll see you all next week. Bye.